Hello and welcome to KERNOW EXP. Today we're at a tiny little village or hamlet called 12 Heads, steeped in Cornish mining history, this location. So we're going to go for a walk and we're going to explore an old barn, I think it is, and we're going to do a little bit of drone flying. So come with us, shall you? Right, okay, so welcome back folks. Hope you're all good, hope you had a great weekend. This is Monday now and the weather has improved, thank God for that. It's been rubbish, hasn't it folks? Absolute rubbish. You know, the wind is up a bit today, but I think it's dropped a bit now, which is a good thing, so that means we can fly. So we're going to go and walk on an old railway line now, so shall we go and do it? Let's go folks. So if you know where this is, there's a little cafe there called Bon Appetit, and they do some good food, so I've been told. So you'll have to go and check them out, folks. Right, so what we're doing now is we're going to the left here. So let's go to the left and have a little wander around. Oh yeah, let's have a look here a minute. There's a map here that gives you an idea of what is actually around here. Now look at this. Wow. So can you guess where we are? So anyone that's local will know straight away, but we're here folks. We're there, look. So there was an old railway line that was freight only that went through here. So let's see if we can find the remains of it, shall we? Now I do believe this railway line was standard gauge and it used two little unique engines. I think one was called Smelter and I think the other was called Miner. So now there would have been a series of gate crossings and that. Now later on in its life it was taken over by the Great Western Railway, and then they upgraded the track bed, so it basically ran freight only. So let's go and see if we can find the remains of the site. Excuse me. Right, now we're now coming up to an area where the track used to cross. So the sign's broken there. So you can see on the gate, I don't know if you can read that or not, it says Tramway Lodge. This was the track bed right here folks. We're right on it right now. So in a moment we're going to walk down there and we're going to see where it goes. Back in a mo folks. Right, so we're starting our walk now down the old mineral only freight line. So we've got a couple of cyclists coming up behind us, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for those, I'm afraid. But so this goes down towards the tailings at United Downs, where we've been quite a bit before. So we've not covered this area on video before. This is a bit of a new one, so it's probably a good half a mile walk. So we'll get it on video, shall we folks? I think so. So we've had a lot of rain of late, as you might be aware, and it's turned into a stream, hasn't it? Yeah. So as you can see, this is wide enough now for standard gauge railway track, and I believe some of the track bed were granite sets. And if you know about railways, you'll know what I'm talking about. Further up the valley there is granite sets, but this bit here was probably wooden sleepers that the Great Western Railway mostly used. But you can always tell, obviously, older track bed by the granite sets. Great big granite boulders with chairs leaded into them. Now we might be able to see some of those in a bit. So let's keep going see if we can find any. So it is quite blustery today. Oh, there's a little quarry up there. I think we'll have to just have a little sidetrack here and have a little nosy at this. So I think this might be quite interesting. So this is probably old mine workings. Well, not probably, will be. So yeah, this is interesting, isn't it? So you can imagine the old horse and carts coming up here, filling up with stone and what have you. So, oops, I fell over then. Not recommended. Yeah, so this would have been access to the quarry at one time. That was here. Now this is a vast tin and copper mining area, so there's more than likely some copper mines down there, which we'll have to have a nosy at. Wait a minute, I think I might have found something straight away. It'd be rude to not have a look, wouldn't it, folks? Like a little pony going up there. Right, so we're on a flat area here, and what have we got here? It's nothing, it's just the way the ground looks. Right, okay, so I think we'll continue down here. Legs are warming up now because of walking, which is rather good. Oh, it's a bit steep, isn't it? Oh dear. Oh dear. We won't go down there. Don't like it? Right, let's backtrack, shall we? I think so. Could spend all day wandering around here. Right, so that's a little bit of a sidetrack there. We'll get back to the main objective now. Whoops. We're just nearly getting tripped up. No, joking. Railway line. Right. Oh, flip. Oh, I nearly fell over. Jeez, man. Right, okay. Back in the room. Oh, yeah. Right. Now then. Railway track. Let's go. Right, so this line, it's called the Redroof and Chasewater Railway, folks. Yet it never was connected to Chasewater, so that's a bit of an anomaly before we even start, isn't it? But yeah, Redroof and Chasewater Railway, freight only, no passengers that I'm aware of. But back in the 1840s and 60s, they used to have like chapel outings and things like that, and what they would do is they would have all the kids from the local villages around go on they would clean the wagons out, and every Sunday or Saturday, like a Sunday treat they call it, they would go up and down and ride on the train, and that's been documented. There's pictures of that down near the Cornwall viaduct, which we're not far from. So yeah, so they did do passengers, but not paying passengers. So mostly this line was used for the import of Welsh steam coal for the mines in this area, because it's vast, and also probably the main reason was the export of tin and copper from this area. Now, copper was exported to South Wales, where it was processed into the raw element. So it would have been lovely to see the train puffing along through here back in the day, and I imagine quite a lot of working folk, i.e. miners and that, living around here. Now, obviously I have connections to this area, and I think it dates from, the family moved to this area around 1900, I believe, or just after. No, I think it was just after, probably about 1921, 22, something like that. Because my grandparents lived in the valley here, and they moved here, I think it was 21 or 22. It could be later than that. I think it's probably later than that, to be fair. And I got reason to believe that my great granddad worked in some of the mines around here. So, but yeah, this area here is steeped in history, folks, and could be like a little marshalling yard here, actually. See this ground? It's quite flat, and it's on the same alignment as the railway track. So this is probably where they did marshalling. If you don't know what marshalling means, it means gathering all the wagons up and then getting the ore transported away. So beneath our feet, there's miles of tunnels, adits that go off in all directions. Basically, we're following the load, the tin and the copper. And they go off in all directions, folks, and all different levels. Now, this place is just amazing, it really is. So we're going to go so far up, and then we're going to backtrack, because we need to go and look at another area. Now they built an incline up here, which they were trying to do a branch off this railway, and they got so far with it and they stopped. But the idea was to connect it into Poldice Arsenic Refinery, which is where we filmed many times before, and continue the import and export of materials. I think we ought to put a sticker on that later. So I'm hoping to get the drone up here today. It is quite windy. We've not flown for a while, so we have got the bigger drone today, so it's a lot more stable in the air compared to like the minis. So this is a very old bit of track bed here. We've got some kind of foundations over there, which could be a small siding or something like that. I've never noticed that before. There's lots of like humps and bumps there. That's quite interesting. Just there, so it's possible an old siding there. So as you can see, this bit of, here we go. This is what I wanted to show you, folks. Look at that. Now that is a granite set in its original position, and that's where the track was secured. You can see where they've chiseled it out to put a metal chair in there. There's another one and another one, and so on and so forth. So I think we should be lucky enough to come across a few more of those. There's another one there, and as you can see, look, there's some in the ground even now, which is amazing. So I'm hoping we can see the granite sets on both sides of the track, so that determines the gauge. And yeah, there's a couple over there, look, folks. So there's one there as well, so it does look standard gauge to me. Now look at this, wow, that is amazing, isn't it? See where the chairs were, where the metal chairs were, which hold the rail in position. So looks like they are in the original position, but that one there might have been moved because it's not in the same alignment roughly. It's just slightly out. So I'm hoping we can come across some more of those, which will give us the gauge. Amazing bit of history, folks. It's just great to see stuff like this still in situ from where it was put originally. So we got a load here, look, coming in. This one's been moved, obviously, and they've all been jiggled about with, basically. But I'm sure there's some up here which gives us the gauge of the original track. Now, there is a bridge up here, and amazingly the the bars underneath the bridge are actually rail, and the rail does look original to this, so it's a strong chance that or those bits of rail are original, folks. So we are going to have a look at that. I'm not sure if we can pick it up properly on camera, but we will try. So we've got the sets coming in on the right. You see them there? They look in perfect original position, not been molested, just covered in grass and dirt and what have you. Look at that, it's amazing, isn't it? So what we are going to do is walk down the other side of the viaduct in a minute, or the embankment, and go to a cutting where they were extending the railway line, basically, or the freight only line. I don't know if we can see those bits of rail now because they've put stuff over it. Stuff has been falling on people by the looks of it. So this is a cutting here, very, very old. You can imagine the old guys that did this. It must have took a couple of years to get through this. Probably this was done by hand. Yet again, it could be, it's possible it was done by Holman's compressed air rock drill, but it does look very, very old. And because of the granite sets, I'm assuming this was done the old-fashioned way. Now there's one way to tell if it was done by rock drills, is you'll see like lines in the rock, and that could be one there actually. No. And that will donate that it was done by a machine, i.e. compressed air rock drill. Now I'm looking either side and I can't actually see any signs of being machined, i.e. compressed air. It does look to me like this was probably done by hand. So what I mean by that, folks, is the old-fashioned way of mining. What you would do is 3 men, one chap on the drill rod, right? And what they would do is one guy would be here with the rock drill like this, 2 guys with lump hammers behind, and what they would do is the 2 chaps would swing the lump hammers, and the guy holding the rod would turn, bang, turn, bang, turn, bang, turn, bang, turn. And that's the old-fashioned way of drilling through rock without using compressed air rock drills, because obviously compressed air rock drills was developed in the 1800s, but before that, like the 1700s, it was all done by hand, folks. So I'm thinking, now correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if you know differently, I'm thinking that this was probably done by hand, and it does look like we've got something right here, folks. Look, there's a line there. That's possible where they had drilled in by hand or what have you. That's quite interesting, isn't it? So we've got the bridge here. Now years ago, before they put up this protective thing here, there's railway line up there basically. You can just see it there. You can just make it out. But yeah, that's really, really, really old. You know, a real bit of history. You can see the granite sets here again, look. You can see the chairs that have been chiselled out. We haven't actually come across any chairs still in situ, have we? What I mean is on either side at the moment. So we've only just got one side, which is a little, there we go. There's one there, look. So we have got the gauge. So it's about standard gauge. So yeah, you can see why they've put that there up there, because obviously you can see that the rail's beginning to break. So I think, to be honest, the days of that bridge are numbered. I think they're going to have to take it all off and redo it again at some stage in the future, folks. But yeah, just you know, having a archaeological eye like myself, you can see the amount of work that's gone into like constructing that, you know. So there's a load of chairs here, look. Wow, amazing, eh? Can you imagine the trains chuffing along here? Chuk, 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 chuk. Boop, boop. Be lovely, wouldn't it, eh? Do you know what I would love to do, folks? Do you know what I would love to do? If I was allowed to do it, which would never happen, put a little narrow gauge track down here and charge like 4 or 5 quid a go, up and down. What we just walked, that would be awesome, wouldn't it, eh? Wouldn't that be magic? Yeah, it really would. Anyway, we're going to walk down through to the other side now, so come on, let's go. So we are going to get the drone up over this track bed in a minute. I think we'll probably end up doing that swiftly. Alright, so for a moment we'll continue on our walk down here. Woo. Probably on the way back we'll get the drone over the top so it gives you an aerial perspective of what we've actually walked today. So this little bit of valley we're walking in now, this is the eastern side of the tailings, which we've been down before many times, and we're coming up to the site of the haunted tunnel. Now, do you remember we did a video there with Chris and David not long ago? And of course that video went viral. I think we had almost 1,600 views on that one, which is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So it is quite cold here today, but my legs have definitely warmed up. Mind you, I've got some long johns on, so if you want any, folks, go down to Max Salvers in Poole. Quite a good price. I think it was like £7 or £8, and they're really good. Oh, what have they got there? Something's gone on there. Oh, I think we've got to have a look at that. Is that an adit? That looks like an adit. Bloody hell. Right, it'd be rude not to have a little look. Just to have a little nosy. We're not going to go poking about too much, just want a little nosy. So it looks like a shaft has gone in here. Yeah, definitely a shaft. Yeah. So you can see here, folks, from when the days when this site was operational, look, there's a little, this is called a launder. See that? Goes up that way. That would have been used for when the site was being used for the mining. So what we're looking at the back here, this gives us a bit of access to it now. This is a railway embankment here, which was all built not that long ago. And not that long ago, what am I saying? Over 100 years ago. And it was basically an extension line that they were going to use for over at Poldice Arsenic Refinery. I might know the chaps that have done that, so you know, they've obviously, that was a shaft in there. Right, now. Oh, blimey, look at that. I can't believe that. So last time we came down here with Chris and David, this was nowhere near as high as that. Look at that. I cannot believe that. Jeez, man. That's mad. It's overflowing into the other one right here, look. Can you see that down there? Yeah, I've never seen it this high before. Flipping heck. That's amazing. Right, let's get on with our walk, shall we? We've got a bit of a way to go yet, so we just need to keep moving on. We're going to lose the light if we aren't careful. Right, now I think we've got to go round the opposite way. Yeah, so we'll go down through this tunnel, which we know is the haunted tunnel. Obviously we did get some weird things down here that time we were here doing this. So yeah, this was built by I think it's Cornwall Mineral Railway or West Cornwall Railway. before, probably before Great Western Railway. But look at the construction of it, folks. Isn't it amazing? I've got to take my time because I'm slipping a bit. Ooh. So what we're going to do is go up to the cutting, have a little look, and then we're going to backtrack down the quick roadway. All right, there we go. Let's have a look. Spooky. Do you like that down there? Look, we're going to do another ghost hunt down there before too long. Right, shall we keep going, folks? Oh yeah. I've warmed up now. That's good, isn't it? My hands were quite cold when I started off. I'm nice and toasty. Lovely. Right, so this is called Hale Mills. I think there may have been a mill here at one time, but there's not a lot of evidence for that, I'm afraid. It could be the fact that the mill was up above. But there was a stumps around here, so that's probably why it's called Hale Mills. Right, now we're going to go down here, and so this trackway here, basically, today it's called the Portreath to Devon tram line, and a lot of cyclists use it. But obviously I've been around here for many years, so I know it as the old Hale Mills, basically. So so we are going to get a drone flight above in a short while. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, to be honest, because there is a bit of wind, but she's a strong drone, so she should be all right. But we're going to do that in stages, folks, because I can't fly the whole thing because of vols, visual line of sight and all that shit. So we've got to toe the line a bit, folks. So it will be in stages. So yeah. But we're going to continue up to this cutting now, which would have been done more than likely by Irish navvies. They would have came over and they would have done all the hard labour like that. So most of the railway infrastructure was done by Irish navvies. They would set up their own little towns along the way, and I think they were paid with meat and beer and a little bit of money. Right, this probably gets a lot of water in the winter. You can see it's been washed out a bit. I'm getting a bit tired now. And bugger, I forgot to bring a drink with me. It's on the bike. Poo. Oh no. It's always like it, isn't it? You try to prep, but sometimes it's just not always possible to have all what you need with you. So we're just going up to the cut-in, and then we're going to head back. Whew. What is that there? Never noticed this before. What is it? Oh, bugger. Look at this. Flipping heck. I can't believe never noticed that before. We ain't going to look at that today now. We'll look at that one again. That's probably how they got the material out of there. Right. So we must be near the cutting. Oh yes. Here we are, folks. We're here. Oh shit, it's flooded. Bugger. Right. We'll cut in a moment, folks. Back in a mo. Okay, so we're back again, and so we've just got past the bog, as you can see, and now we're looking in to the cutting. So I think what we'll do is we'll walk down the part way. So we are a bit limited on time because we've got about an hour of daylight left. So let's get past the bog and keep going. It's a bit boggy here, folks. Very quiet down here. Now this might be a good place, crew, the KERNOW crew. We could put the gazebo up here, couldn't we? And do a ghost hunt. It's just an idea. Don't have to do that. Now looking at the construction of this again, this was probably done pre-compressed air rock drill, all done by hand. It's got to be. There's no evidence to say that there is any compressed air equipment used on this. It's probably all done by hand, which I've done a bit, folks. There is a video of me using a modern drill bit. I'll have to find it. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description so you can have a look at it. But we did a bit of that, and I can tell you one thing. Those boys that did that were tough. Big respect to the miners of Cornwall from yesteryear. Big respect, you know, because it's hard graft. Obviously these days they use compressed air rock drill with water going down through, which keeps the dust down, folks. Now the dust, that's another big thing. When they were doing things like this by hand, a lot of the miners breathed in the dust, and that basically lowered your life expectancy, and a lot of miners died of chest problems. And yeah, so big respect, folks, big respect for the miners of the past. Anyway, shall we continue our walk, shall we? Yeah, let's go then. So we've got to get past the bog path. Oh, 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 didn't like it. Right, this might be the end of it, actually. Oh God, I nearly went on my bum. I'm not sure we can get through that. Right, so we're going to backtrack now. Let's go. Right. So I must have walked a mile already. Must have. So we're just outside of the embankment here. Look, this is just the side of it. Oh, there's a shaft right there, look. Back castle, see that? Right. Yeah, so big respect to the miners, folks, and the navvies. Bloody hard graft. Thing is though, it's like anything really. If you do it day in, day out, day in, day out, it's going to be second nature to you, isn't it? You know, like cycling, like walking, like DIY, painting, building sheds. If you do it day in, day out, tar macadam, you're going to get used to it. Now, I've done tar macadam, which is putting tarmac roads in. When I started, I was fucking useless, pardon my language, but 12 months, 2 years down the line, didn't battle an eyelid. I was ultra fit. So yeah, good stuff. Right, so we've got to get past this water here now. Bit of water, bit of bog, very nice. I think the reason why there's a pit there is because there's a lot of New Age travellers in the 90s, and they were just pulling up anywhere and everywhere. So I think that's why that's there. This area was inundated with those people. I ain't got nothing against those people, of course I haven't, but they were all over around here. Right, now let's slowly make our way out. Whoa. Right, okay. Nice and steady. Very nice. Okay. Right. So I hope you enjoyed that little look there. So there is a KERNOW sticker there. If you see it, let me know. And we'll give you a shout out. And of course, just to let you know, those stickers are biodegradable. They do decompose. Namely over time, yeah. But they do biodegrade. So I just wanted to tell you that. Now, there is stickers all over Cornwall, and some of them have started biodegrading, because if you live down here, you'll know in the winter we get a hammering with the storms that come through, and we've had a few already. So last night was pretty rough, wasn't it, folks? Jeez, Sunday night. Right. Yeah, if you do come up here and you've got children with you, keep them close to you, because there's all sorts of dangers around here, you know. Right, we're nearly down. Nearly down. So I hope you're enjoying this walk. There is going to be a drone video at the end, and we'll try our best to get the drone over the bits that we've walked, which I think will be good. And we'll get further down, excuse me, we'll get further down and we'll get the drone up and do that bit, or that segment. That's going to be all of 10 minutes, I think, to be fair, because mind you, I do have the spare batteries with me, so it's kind of cool, but because the wind is quite high, the drone will be battling. It will get battered, sorry. Right, there we go. So you can see there was a lot of water coming down through there. Look, see all the brown mud? That's all been washed down from that path we've just been at. Right. So now we're heading back towards 12 Heads. Now 12 Heads is quite a lovely little name. It's because in sight of the village there was 12 heads. What I mean is 12 mines, you know, which is amazing, isn't it? The history here, folks, for mining is just unbelievable. It really is. Yeah. So it's great to be out again. Going to try to get out again tomorrow, a different location. And now I did some research Sunday night. I was lying in the King's bed in the HQ and I've got this special map now, which I know that Two Wheel Exploration, Adam's got the same one, so we now know some locations that we didn't know of before. So I've managed to pinpoint 40 potential World War II sites that we've not done ever before, which there's about 5 to 8 of them that have never ever been filmed for YouTube ever. So I think, well, I know for a fact that that is going to be an absolute awesome thing. It really is. Right, there we go. So yeah, we're going to be doing a big series later this year with Two Wheel Exploration, Adam, on World War II locations, whether it's little Nissan huts, little OBs, observation post, or Stanton shelters, which we've got one site which I think we might do next, which I'm not going to say where it is or anything, but I don't think it's been filmed before for YouTube or the internet ever, so I think that's going to be a first, which will be rather nice. Yeah. Also, we've got some permission visits lined up at some sites, so that'll be good too. Yeah. Some more ghost hunts. We've got permission visits for ghost hunting as well, which people have approached us, and we said we'll do that, so that's good. Hope you enjoyed the witch's house. It hasn't had a lot of traction, to be honest. I'm actually surprised. I thought that would go bonkers, but it hasn't. But never mind, we were there anyway. So we're getting some more kit soon so I can mic up the crew. I've devised a system now where we can one camera and 4 DJI mics all linked to the one camera, which is quite technical, folks, but I think we've going to manage it. So on our next fry up or ghost hunt, we'll be able to mic up everybody. So I think, to be fair, that is going to be absolutely awesome. So the camera that we use for that is the DJI Action 3, but it won't be long now before we get the Action 4. And I'm thinking about getting the GoPro 12, but I'm waiting with GoPro because I'm not that impressed with GoPro, to be honest, folks. GoPro are just rubbish at low light. They really are. They need to sort it out and just get it so you can actually use it at low light, because obviously this camera we're using right now, the Action 3, low light on this, like we did the other night when we was looking at that farm, me and David, you can actually see where he's walking without any lights, which is just like, wow. Wow. So we're coming to the end of this video today now, so I know I've waffled on quite a bit, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you really liked what you see, there will be a link to buy me a coffee. So any money that we get goes direct into the channel, folks. It doesn't get used anywhere else apart from the channel. So I'd just like to thank all the new subscribers. Thank you. You won't be disappointed. The videos will slow a little bit in the future, but we're going to get a minimum of 3 videos a week. A minimum, folks. So yeah, that's good, isn't it? Right, so I'm getting to where we sign off in a moment, but there will be an end segment to this video, I'm sure there will be. So we won't say goodbye in a moment. So I used to cycle down here before the Portreath to Devon tramline was ever a thing. But it's a nice ride, folks. So I think we need to get the e-bike out again, because we haven't done that for a while, have we? So we need to dust it off and get it going again. So it is fully charged. I checked the other day, so that's kind of good, isn't it? Yeah. Well, the wind has definitely died down, isn't it? So I think we're good to go. Excuse me. So on that bombshell, here comes the drone footage. Hope you enjoy, folks. See you at the end of the video. Right, so we're back again, folks. So we're walking on from where we just flown the drone. Just hasten to add, maintaining my visual line of sight, yes. Because we got strobe lights, folks, and they are such a good thing. So if you're a drone pilot, then I would highly recommend you get yourselves the Ulanzi strobe lights. They are awesome. We got 5 which we put on our drone, and they are awesome, folks. They maintain your visual line of sight. So I have white on top, on the left I have red, on the right I have green, and on the back we have white. So we know our orientation of the drone, which is what you're meant to do anyway. So that's what we do. So why don't you take a leaf out of my book, folks, and get yourselves some Ulanzi strobes. I will try to put a link in the description. Obviously, if you're flying a mini drone, you might be restricted on weight of how much you can have on your drone. Basically, you might get away with just one, but we love them. Right, so we're walking down through the valley now towards 12 Heads, and I think the light is beginning to go now. The sun is going down, so this is the end part of the video today. All right. So we're going to stick another sticker around here. One more, I think. One more. I think it would be nice to have one there. So I'll just retrieve one if I can, and I can. And there we are. So if you know where that is, whoops, sorry about the noise movement there, give me a shout, let me know. Right, now, obviously, like I said earlier, I've been coming down around here for God knows how long, and there used to be a caravan down here on the left, and I actually remember the old chap living there. He's quite a quiet bloke, never really, I don't know if I ever said hello to him. I think I probably did, but he must have passed away 15, 20 years ago, and since then the caravan has just been left, and the roof of the caravan's come in now. Now, I haven't actually walked along this path for quite some time, so I don't know if it's still there or no, but if it is, it's going to be in one hell of a mess. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed this walk about the old railway line at 12 Heads, and the Portreath to Devon tram line it is, which is the cycleway, folks. And a shout out to Ricky Pascoe, Bike Chain Hire, which is down at Bizzo. If you fancy coming down here, folks, go and see Ricky and his crew, and they will hire you a bike, and you can cycle all the way down to Devon, and or all the way down to Portreath. Portreath do great pasties, so yeah, share the love, innit, folks? Share the love. And there's a new building here, and is that where the caravan was? Could be. Flipping heck. Oh, it's definitely changed. Gee. Any bit of land now, folks, innit? Any bit of land, it gets built on. He must have owned that. Blimey. Also, if you're here at 12 Heads during the summer months, why don't you pop into Bon Appetit, I think it's called, and get yourself a nice coffee or a tea and some cake. I think they might even sell pasties as well, actually. So go and have a look. It's right here, walking right past it. So, yeah. There you are, folks. Well, that's pretty much the end of today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. And KERNOW here, we'll see you later in the week. We've got a few things planned, and yeah, see you then, folks. Cheers and God.